We're playing Raph and Mikey Troublemakers from Magic the Gathering's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universes Beyond set and Legacy Sneak and Show. Let's go check it out. Today we're playing a brand new card from Magic the Gathering's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, and it's called Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. 7 mana total, 5 and then red-green hybrid for a 7/7 Haste Trample. And then whenever it attacks, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. The rest of the cards go on the bottom in a random order. So the idea is that you want to put this into play using Show and Tell or Sneak Attack, and then it will find another large monster like the Atraxa Grand Unifier or Emrakul the Aeons Torn, either ending the game with actual damage with the Emrakul or enough card advantage from the Atraxa to win the game. That's the idea. And while I think it makes a lot of sense, you now have a large monster that you can actually cast. That's the big thing here. Why would you want to play this card? You can actually play it. 7 mana is very achievable in your deck with City of Traders and Ancient Tombs. And being able to actually cast it and then get your larger creatures makes a lot of sense. So it gives some utility in matchups where casting Omniscience for 10 is a little bit more difficult. And I like that. So we'll see if we actually hardcast it today or if it just comes into play off of Show and Tell and brings a friend. That's the idea here. And I would like to say this is not my idea, but it's also not a donation deck. I ran into Magic Online user S Rogers 90 when playing a league, and I saw Raph and Mikey and I was like, that seems sweet. I'd like to play it. Can you share the deck list? And they did exactly that. This is not their exact 75. I have made some adjustments to taste, but I think it makes a lot of sense. A concern that I do have with this deck list is that we are playing Raph and Mikey, obviously, but it cares about creature cards. In our sideboard, we have Fairy Macabre, we have Hexing Squelcher, we also have Magus of the Moon. These are cards that I'd like to board in, and I think you could play other cards instead, but I think that these particular cards are so strong that I don't want to play other cards. So, for example, Magus of the Moon over Blood Moon. Decks like Lands have Boseiju Indoors and Force of Vigor. I think having Magus of the Moon is a meaningful upgrade. Fairy Macabre doesn't get countered by Pact of Negation or Chancellor of the Annex. This is a card I want access to. And then there's no card in the game like Hexing Squelcher. You could play Defense Grid, but that's not quite as good. So I am going to choose to play a little bit of anti-synergy today with Raph and Mikey in order to play an ideal deck list. We'll see how it works. That is the only concern I have of mine. I think that the deck list is really strong otherwise. We'll see if that's true in actual gameplay. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see all of you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1 with the Legacy Sneak and Show featuring Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. We are on the play. Our opponent reveals a Yorion Sky Nomad. We've opened up a hand that doesn't do anything. We'll send it back. Sure. We'll keep and get rid of Atraxa. Actually, let's get rid of the Mistrise Village. Because if I just play Scalding turn go, I have a guaranteed turn 2 Show and Tell into Atraxa. Even if, okay, well, it looks like they're not on Death and Taxes. But I was going to say, even if they had a Thoughtseize, and they played a Bridge, that's so odd. We'll fetch, grab Thundering Falls, and Surveil, get rid of the Omniscience. I mean, I could try to high roll the Omniscience, but I don't think that's a good idea. And I found the Mistrise Village again. Let's brainstorm here. We found Lotus Petal. I'm going to hide Show and Tell on top, play the Lotus Petal, play Ancient Tomb, and we'll pass. So next turn I have Mistrise Village into Show and Tell into Atraxa Grand Unifier. And it looks like they're on the 8 cast / Affinity deck, whatever you would like to call it. But they just happen to be playing a Yorion Sky Nomad. Alright, that's a Thought Monitor. And now they're going to use the Mishra's Bauble. And now they'll draw 2. We'll play the Mistrise Village. And now we'll activate it. Our next spell cannot be countered. Show and Tell. We'll put in the Atraxa Grand Unifier. They put in a Patchwork Automaton. We get our trigger. I will take Sneak Attack, Force of Will, the Atraxa, Lotus Petal, stock up, and then I don't know about the last one. Is Volcanic Island better than City of Traders? Probably. And then we'll play the Lotus Petal, pass the turn. They play a Thought Monitor, Mishra's Bauble, their own City of Traders, and a main deck copy of Tormod's Crypt. Okay. They have 4 cards still in their hand. They have an Otawara Soaring City. That will remove my Atraxa. So this is a hit for 10? Yeah, I mean, I'm in trouble here. We'll play Volcanic Island. Red will play Sneak Attack and activate. We'll put in Atraxa Grand Unifier. Trigger. Okay, so we hit Raph and Mikey. We also hit the Emrakul. So I could take the Emrakul. I've already played my land. So that's a big concern of mine because I can't sneak in Emrakul and another Atraxa as a blocker on their turn. I think no matter what, I'm taking the Volcanic Island. I'm taking Bluster Storm. I don't need a Ponder, so I'll take Show and Tell. So then it's Raph and Mikey versus Emrakul. So if they annihilate 6, they're probably getting rid of lands. And then they'd have 12 in the air. They could sack all of their lands. They'd have to block. I'd actually would live if I take the Emrakul. Okay, so we'll take Emrakul here. And now we'll activate Sneak Attack again. Put in the Emrakul. Go to combat. So they have to annihilate 6. So they've selected 5 permanents. They need 1 more. Is it the Mishra's Bauble or is it a drone token? They choose the Bauble. So then they can block with the Thought Monitor. And then they have 10 damage in the air, but I'll be at 12. So they need to play 2 spells for the Patchwork Automaton to kill me. And now damage. Alright, and then it goes to our end step. We have to sacrifice our 2 creatures. And then I need to discard down to hand size. We'll get rid of Scalding Tarn and, I don't know, Flusterstorm. So they need to play 2 artifacts to kill me here. Well, that's 1. So now a 0-mana artifact kills me. Our opponent says in the chat, I hate my life. Alright, so we're going to go to 1. Interesting spot. I think I'm probably supposed to Atraxa. Trigger. We'll take Emrakul, Lotus Petal, and they concede. Okay, so looks like we stole game number 1. No Raph and Mikey, though. I mean, I was close to using it there. It's just, I don't think it was the correct choice. We likely want the Mistrized Village. I don't hate Hexing Squelcher here. The Abrades. I also don't mind Consign to Memory. Oddly enough, I think that due to Hexing Squelcher being in your deck, you could get rid of Force of Wills. That's the plan versus tempo. So I think that would be acceptable. I also don't know how good Flusterstorm is versus them. And that's 63. The only issue with the current configuration is that you might Raph and Mikey into a Hexing Squelcher. So you could consider boarding out Raph and Mikey, but I actually think it's not bad in this matchup. They are a Chalice of the Void deck, so part of me wants to board out Lotus Petals. I just don't know how silly that is. Also, like, is this even a good Consign to Memory matchup? Like, I know that they have 0-mana cards, but does that mean it's what the matchup is actually about? I think I'm going to try no Consign to Memory, and then we'll submit. Well, this is a very strong hand. We will keep. They have Ancient Tomb into Patchwork Automaton, another Show and Tell. We'll play Lotus Petal, Mistrized Village, pass the turn. They play Mox Opal into Pithing Needle, so now they can name the Mistrized Village. And they name Sneak Attack, though. Interesting. Okay. I feel like this would be a good game for Raph and Mikey to show its effectiveness versus this Needle. Now they play a Memory Guardian, and they attack for 5. They have 1 card. They're about to drop to 2 with the Bauble. And we have Raph and Mikey. Oh my. Here we go. Tap for a blue. Show and Tell. Raph and Mikey. They put in Urza's Saga. I can guarantee the Atraxa here. So I think I'll do that rather than potentially hitting Hexing Squelcher. So if I swing in the air, I believe I don't get the Annihilator trigger with the Raph and Mikey. But I guess we'll find out. I'll put Sneak Attack and then... Actually, let's stack Sneak Attack on top so that way it gets shuffled away. And now I'll swing, trigger. There's the Emrakul, no Annihilator trigger. And we'll pass. And unlike Sneak Attack, this Emrakul sticks around. That was sweet. Raph and Mikey doing work. And the opponent just conceded the match. We have won using Raph Mikey in match number 1. How exciting is that? Let's go try to do it again in match number 2. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh inventions, or even beta. I'm going to open a beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. Hey everyone, I'd like to start off by saying that I am so sorry. I just went to go edit the video, but unfortunately match number 2 is gone, and I checked my trash can, it is not there. I'm not sure if it's my own inability to hit record or if the file corrupted when it was exporting from OBS, but I don't have the second match. I don't have an excuse for you. With my system, when I hit record, I actually get a little push notification that goes across my screen that goes, "You're live," and I check it at the beginning of every round. It's why I haven't had any issues in so long. That said, I believe I recorded match 2, but maybe something happened. I don't have it. And a lot of you, when this does happen in the past, have said, you know, just show us the Magic Online replays. I would love to do that, but it's not a possibility. Magic Online disabled replays roughly 2 years ago, and they're still not back, so it's not an option. In match number 2, I actually faced Boros Energy. I had a turn 1 show and tell plus Force of Will backup in game 1. It was the nuts. And then in game 2, I had turn 2 show and tell into Raph Mikey, and then swing, and then I revealed the Emrakul, the Aeons Torn. The entire match was only like 5 or 6 minutes with sideboarding. I just steamrolled them. However, I don't have it on video, unfortunately. So I'm not sure what I can do to you for you other than say that I'm sorry. Matches 3, 4, and 5 are still there. They're great content. I'd appreciate it if you kept watching, but I don't know what else to say other than I'm sorry, and thanks for being a supporter of the channel. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round 3, we are on the draw. I have no clue what our opponent's playing. Our hand needs a blue mana source. I think that's fair to say, but if you hit it, you could just start throwing haymakers until you resolve one. And there's our blue mana. I will play Scalding Tarn and pass. Our opponent grabs a Hedge Maze and keeps a card on top. Ancient Tomb. We're likely playing a mirror match. I will grab Thundering Falls. I do not need a second copy of City of Traders. Force of Will. How risky are we feeling right now? I think I'd like the peanut butter and jam. Show and tell. They Force of Will, exiling Show and tell. I will Force of Will back. Exile, stock up. They have Veil of Summer. Unfortunate. I must pass the turn. They play Polluted Delta. They have 4 cards in hand. We'll float mana off of the City of Traders, play our basic mountain, and cast Sneak Attack. They're going to fetch in response with Polluted Delta. For a Thundering Falls, Travails away and attracts a Grand Unifier and a Resolve. So I think the Thundering Falls means we're actually playing a Sneak and Show Mirror, and that it's not Omniscience or Omnitel versus Sneak and Show. So now they have a stock up. They've not played a land yet, so that is meaningful here. And now they Brainstorm. I can't do anything about that. They're definitely favored in the mirror match by having Veil of Summers in their deck. I'm choosing for a cleaner mana base where they're playing the more robust version for the combo spread. But that doesn't matter, and we end up winning game number 1. Interesting. I think Raph Mikey ends up being very good in the mirror match, so I definitely want that. I've been told in the past that in the mirror you're supposed to board out show and tells. I don't know how true that is anymore. I also don't feel like my sideboard is really built for that plan anyway. I think we definitely want the Mistrise Village. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I would board out. Am I supposed to bring in Squelchers in the mirror? Maybe then I'm supposed to get rid of Raph Mikey's. And then, like, maybe we board out, like, a couple copies of Stock Up. Maybe this is just, like, insane person talk here, but I'm thinking that, like, you don't want to play the value game in the mirror match. Unfortunately, no mana, we must mulligan. This has the mana. I think we keep and get rid of Basic Island. They play Scalding Tarn. Welcher, baby. We'll play Lotus Petal, grab Volcanic, and Ponder. The Atrax is good. I don't actually need 2 more soul lands, but I think I'm going to keep it anyway. We'll pass. They search out Hedge Maze, and they surveil away the sneak attack. Interesting. Volcanic Island, Carpet of Flowers, sure. We'll play Ancient Tomb and Hexing Squelcher. Pass. So they have 3 mana this turn. They play Thundering Falls, so they're not going to go up to 4. They surveil away Force of Will, 5 cards in their hand. We'll play City of Traders, Sneak Attack, activate the Sneak Attack, put in the Atraxa Grand Unifier trigger, Lotus Petal, and Emrakul. That should do it. Omniscience, Stock Up, Force of Will, Volcanic. And our opponent just conceded the match. You know, this deck, it plays itself sometimes. I'm not trying to talk smack. It's just, it's super powerful and it's pretty straightforward. I could see why it's the 3rd most popular deck on Goldfish right now. We are cruising through and we are 3-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 4 on the play, and we're facing someone who usually plays a lot of Painter-Servant combo. Alright, so we have Emrakul the Aeons Torn in our hand. We don't have any action, we just have a ton of mana here. I will mulligan. I think this is okay. We'll bottom the Atraxa and keep the Raph Mikey. We'll play Volcanic Island into Ponder. Don't need any of those, we will shuffle. We draw into another Ponder. They play Mox Opal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal. This doesn't look like Painter. Alright, well there's a mountain. That is a Painter's Servant. Do you have the Grindstone for the turn 1 activation? They name White. Okay. We'll play Scalding Tarn. I would like to Brainstorm here. We find Sneak Attack. Let's get rid of the Mysterized Village. Do I want the Flusterstorm? I don't... Tough call here. I think I'm going to get rid of the Brainstorm and then we'll Ponder. We'll grab Volcanic Island. Ponder. I don't need any of those, so we will shuffle. Pass the turn. They play City of Traders into Garn the Great Creator. Yep. They activate the Karn the Great Creator for a Grindstone. And they play the Grindstone. They discard their hand, and now they're going to activate, and they will see that I have Emrakul in my deck. So we're going to shuffle our graveyard back in. Although next turn they could go Karn the Great Creator for Tormod's Crypt and exile my whole deck. So I really need to draw something good here. Like a Force of Will for the Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, I need to draw something good. The Show and Tell could actually do it. I could Show and Tell into Sneak Attack into Raph Mikey. Volcanic Island does not work. So yeah, I'm dead assuming that they have a Tormod's Crypt in their sideboard. I needed 1 more mana. I don't even think I'm supposed to play out the Sneak Attack, because on the off chance they don't have a Tormod's Crypt, I don't want them to get Needle and then name the Sneak Attack. They use the Karn the Great Creator, and they do grab Tormod's Crypt. Looks like they're going to do it in my upkeep. And unfortunately, we lose our first game of the league. Okay, so bummer. It happens. I needed to draw better. It just didn't happen. Alright, so we definitely want Consign to Memory in this matchup. Flusterstorm is still okay against Pyroblast. I don't think we need Mysterized Village. Well, I guess Mysterized Village beats Pyroblast too. I'm going to board out Flusterstorm, and maybe we'll bring in another Mysterized. We probably want a Braid. And then I think I'm the control deck, so maybe I'm supposed to board out Lotus Petals. And we'll try this. Game 2 on the play. Nope. The hand is clunky. I guess we'll keep this. I don't love it. We'll get rid of a Brainstorm. Really looking to ponder into Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb Show and Tell. That would be perfect. Well, I'll take Force of Will plus more lands. We will pass. They play Urza's Saga into Needle, sure. They name Sneak Attack. We'll play Brainstorm. Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. I think I'll get rid of the Omniscience and one stock up. We'll play Scalding Tarn and Fetch. Just looking for Show and Tell now. We'll grab a basic and Ponder. Don't need any of those. We will shuffle into land number 4. Okay. Less than ideal. Their Urza Saga is on the second chapter. They play Ancient Tomb. So if they want to, they could make a construct on my end step and then another one on their turn, and then go grab like the Tormod's Crypt or a Grindstone or something else. They're going to play Painter's Servant. Okay? They choose white. We find another copy of Force of Will. We'll play Stock Up, take Show and Tell, and Consign to Memory, and I will pass the turn. So now the Urza Saga goes to the third chapter. They grab the Grindstone, Urza Saga. They play Lotus Petal, Soul Guide Lantern. That's probably one we have to fight over here. I will Force of Will, exile, Consign to Memory. Looks like they have Pyroblast backup. I unfortunately have to Force of Will and exile my Show and Tell. So we have 3 Show and Tells left, and I need to draw 1. Wow, what a rip. Cast Show and Tell. Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. Fetch now, I suppose. We'll grab the Volcanic, go to combat. So Emrakul would kill them, or so I believe. I don't know what else they would have here. And Atraxa would obviously create a lot of card advantage. They're adding 3 mana in response. They're going to Grindstone me. Sure, so that way they can look at my deck, I suppose. But you're going to see most of it anyway. And now the Atraxa trigger. We'll take a Braid, Scalding Tarn, Atraxa, Sneak Attack, Stock Up. So they are not dead here. And I cannot cast a Braid because I've already played a land. So if they somehow find a Soul Guide Lantern or a Tormod's Crypt, I'm dead. Saga goes to the second chapter. They activate Grindstone again. And now they concede. So we win game number 2. Alright, now to win game 3. No changes on my side, I think. We keep these. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. We are keeping. We sideboarded out Lotus Petal, so it's important to keep that in mind. So I cannot draw Lotus Petal to make my draws any faster. So this Brainstorm likely wants to find something like Ancient Tomb or a Force of Will just to slow the game down. Our opponent plays Basic Mountain and passes the turn. We'll play an island and do the same. They play a Needle, okay. They name Sneak Attack. End step I will Brainstorm because if I hit Ancient Tomb I can Show and Tell. We'll get rid of the Sneak Attack and play Mistrise on top, I guess. We'll play City of Traders and Show and Tell. But in the Atraxa. Wishclaw Talisman, spicy. We'll take Force of Will, Emrakul the Aeons Torn, Ponder, Ancient Tomb, and then I'm not even going to take the Sneak Attack. Or actually, maybe I should. That way I don't draw it again, and then we could just discard it. Discard the Sneak Attack, discard Mistrise Village? I'm not even sure. Maybe it's the Ancient Tomb, and I need one more. The Mountain? Yeah, we'll get rid of the Mountain. They play City of Traders, Lotus Petal, 2 cards still in their hand. Burn the Great Piece of Trash. I will Force of Will, exile, Ponder? No, let's do Stock Up. Because next turn I could Show and Tell plus Ponder if I want to. Let's begin with Ponder. That should win. We'll keep the Omniscience, go to combat, swing, play Misty Rainforest. This trigger on the stack will make mana, fetch, move my deck. We'll grab Volcanic Island. City Sacrifices. I will play Show and Tell as spell number 2. Choose the Omniscience. And Emrakul. We will go to our next turn. And the opponent concedes the match. We are now 4-0 with Sneak and Show. Let's go get that trophy. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Cobalt and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Can we skill and show our way into a trophy? Let's find out. It's the 5th and final round. We are currently undefeated, and this is a turn 2 Show and Tell with Force of Will backup. Yeah, I'm not going to send this one back. We'll play Scalding Tarn, Lotus Petal, and pass the turn. Something I always want to happen, but almost never does, is that when I do play Force of Will decks here on the channel, it'd be nice if just once I got paired into somebody on an all-in combo deck and I could just blow them out of the water. but it just never happens. Like, I just want someone to, like, discard their entire hand to Lion's Eye Diamond, go all in, and get wrecked by force. I don't think we need a Brainstorm. Sneak Attack. I will cast Show and Tell. Emrakul the Aeons Torn. They put in a Goblin Welder. We will pass. You know, we have not won this yet. They could just, like, Surveillance camera combo me out. But it looks like they don't have it. And now they're going to fetch with Arid Mesa in my upkeep for a Volcanic Island. Oh, I didn't realize that this has Flash. That's wild. Did I just get stopped? Wow. I had turned to Show and Tell with Forcible Backup, and they had Welder Camera. I think we got stopped. Wow, that's impressive. We'll play Ancient Tomb and Sneak Attack. So now I need to draw like an Atroxer or something. They draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern. That's impressive. Also, I did not realize that this card has Flash. That's so dumb. So when I go to combat, they can now... Okay, so they're going to draw 2 cards. They're up to 7 in hand. Another Force of Will. We have to pass. They play an Urza's Saga. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. That doesn't create an artifact. You need an artifact here. So I think their hope is another camera. And here it is. I will attempt a Force of Will. Sacrifice, or I'm sorry, exile Show and Tell. Do you have interaction? No! They just conceded. I feel like we just got very, very lucky. Wow. Okay, I'll take it. We somehow took game number 1 versus Painter when they had camera combo. We'll bring in a Braid. Get rid of the Flusterstorms. Maybe I want the Consignment Memories? I'm not even sure. Get rid of Mistrise Village. Maybe I want the Fairy Macabres too. But, I mean, it's crazy. Like, but they're on the Welder build, so Fairy would stop the Welder combo. But that means I have to get rid of Raph and Mikey. And then maybe like 2 copies of Stock Up. We'll try this. Sure, we'll give it a go. I don't know if I feel strongly about this, but we will keep. They play Volcanic Island into Elder. Sure. Sneak Attack is the draw. We will play Ponder. Think we keep this. I don't know if I feel strongly. And pass. They have an Urza's Saga. Melded Moxite, so they can discard a card here, which is a Thundering Falls. They attack with the Welder. I think I'm going to just kill the Goblin Welder in my main phase. We'll grab an island. And goodbye to Goblin Welder. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for so long. And I remember, like, my first set was actually Invasion. It's why I always use Invasion Basics in my videos. But I remember when I was a kid, the gold standard was Goblin Welder is the best creature that's ever been printed. Everybody said it all the time. And they're like, there will never be a better creature than Goblin Welder. And I feel like Goblin Welder has been sort of forgotten about in this day and age up until recently. So it's always, you know, a little funny to see how those opinions change over time. We'll play Ancient Tomb and Stock Up. Take Emrakul and Ponder. And now we'll Ponder. Do not want 3 lands. We'll shuffle. Play the Lotus Petal. And pass. Their saga is going to go to the 3rd chapter. If they have a Pithing Needle in their deck, they can go get it and name Sneak Attack. They grab a Mox Opal. And there's the Needle. Okay. So this is going to name Sneak Attack. Goblin Engineer. Or Ensnaring Bridge. They have 4 cards. We find another Emrakul here. I would like to Brainstorm. Looks like we're on the Hardcast Omniscience game plan this game. Okay. Put back Sneak Attack Emrakul. Play our Mountain. So this is 6 mana. City of Traders is 8. I'm so far behind. Goblin Welder. Yep. And I just have to pass. Alright, so this is a good spot to use the Fairy Macabre. I'll exile the Melded Moxite and the Ensnaring Bridge. And we'll pass. They play a Lotus Petal. Another Melded Moxite. Gets rid of Painter's Servant, so now they can weld it in. Goblin Engineer. I think I want to consign to memory this. Because this way they can't go get like a Tormod's Crypt and then deck me. Or a Grindstone or something like that, or another lock piece. They play Lotus Petal. And now they're going to weld the Melded Moxite. Gets rid of the Soul Guide Lantern, so they already had it in hand. They're just looking for Grindstone now. I guess I'll just play the Sneak Attack in case I draw the other copy of a Braid. Actually, we'll play City of Traders, because if I draw another Ancient Tomb or City of Traders, I could cast the Omniscience. They're going to return Soul Guide Lantern. Exiles my Fairy Macabre. And now they're going to do the Melded Moxite. It's rid of Skateboard. They play an Ancient Tomb. So this will be my first draw since Brainstorm locking myself. And that does not do it. It's also only 9 mana with an Omniscience is 10. I have to pass. They return Skateboard. And they tap my Volcanic Island. Sure. They play a land. And now the Melded Moxite again. Just filtering through their deck at this point. They got rid of a Twin Shot Sniper. They have these Sewer Valence Cams, so now they have the full combo. They can draw their entire library. Okay, so we lose this one. I don't know what I could have done differently. I feel like our opponent kind of just like had a bunch of cards. Yeah, okay. Maybe Consign to Memory's wrong and I just want stock ups. I'm just not sure. Or I can do like 2 Consign to Memories and 3 stock up. We'll try this. The final game of this league for the trophy. We're on the play, and this hand is terrible. Mulligan. We'll keep bottom a Sneak Attack. We'll play Volcanic Island into Ponder. I think I like turn 2 stock up, so we'll keep this. They play Volcanic Island and Goblin Welder again. We'll play the Ancient Tomb and stock up. So I saved the Scalding Tarn in case I want to Surveil later. That's the idea. We'll take Forcible plus Ponder. And now we're just looking for a large creature. There's a Saga, and they do not attack. I don't even think I'm supposed to show and tell. I think this is just Sneak Attack Pass. Or am I being silly? Yeah, I think it's Sneak Attack Pass. There's a Saga goes to the second chapter. They play a Great Furnace. Goblin Engineer. That is problematic. I must Force of Will this, and we'll get rid of Consign to Memory. They have Pyroblast backup, so now they can go get Ensnaring Bridge. Ah, that's annoying. Did I miss my window last turn? Disruptor Flute. Okay, well I can show and tell Emrakul if that's something we're interested in. They name Sneak Attack. Wonder why they didn't get Bridge. Ponder. Well, that's pretty good. Let's try show and tell. Omniscience. Melded Moxite. And we'll play Emrakul. Go to my next turn. Yeah, I mean our opponent's decision to get Disruptor Flute instead of the Ensnaring Bridge just got us a trophy. So, yeah, 5-0, undefeated, sneak and show, obviously very powerful. Raph and Mikey felt strong as well. I don't think it made the deck, but it was a nice addition. That's my take. Let me know what you think of Raph and Mikey in Sneak and Show in the comment section down below. Thank you to S. Rogers90 for sharing the initial idea with me. I greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching. If you did, as always, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. We are sponsored by KMC Sleeves. I use hard perfect fits on every card in my collection. Doesn't matter if it's a deck, a binder, or a box. And then KMC Hyper Phoenix on all of my decks. They're the best way to protect your cards. And if you're interested in getting your own, visit kmcsleeves.com and use code STORM10 at checkout for 10% off.